What's up, buddy? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'll tell you who you're doing a little bit better than. You're doing better than everybody involved with the abysmal disaster, which is the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser hotel experience. Now, interestingly, we've been talking about this on the channel for a while. It has been exactly 1 year since the inaugural voyage. Again, it's not really a boat, it's a concrete bunker. I don't know why we got to talk about it like it's a boat. But since the first voyage of the Galactic Starcruiser. And at the outset, there were lovers and there were haters. And I guess you might qualify me as one of the haters. Some people said, well, this is fantastic. This is going to be a crown jewel in Disney's IP portfolio, and people are going to want to go book Star Wars vacations for them and their family. This is going to be full up. You know, they told us this was going to be one of these exclusive things you're never going to be able to get in. It's going to be packed full. And then there were guys like me who said, guys, I don't see how this makes it more than 6 months. Yes, you got diehard Star Wars fans. They're going to fill up the first couple months. You might get a couple, rich guys trickling in who want to pretend to go to space. Okay. But a year out, after you got all the Star Wars diehards and all the crazy rich people who are willing to pay $6,000 for 2 nights at a concrete bunker, who's left? There's not enough people to fill this thing. That was my prediction. Now, am I gloating? Yes, I'm gloating, because I was right. I was completely right. I have been completely vindicated. And the news today has told us, it's over, folks. They either have to completely change this thing or, I don't know, blow it up and save some tax money on keeping it open. We're going to talk about what's going on, but don't forget to subscribe down there. Hit that button. Guys, this is news, and this is big news, real quick. This isn't one of those stories like, oh, this is just obscure, stupid news. Who cares? Everyone is covering this. Every travel blog, every Disney, business blogs are covering this because this is going to impact Disney's bottom line. Is the fact that they are now cutting the number of, I'm tired of calling them voyages, down by half because they cannot get anyone to go to this thing. Now, I saw this over on Facebook. Let me see if I have because I follow the Facebook group for what's going on with the Halcyon Legacy. Oh, I'm not logged in. But a travel agent was posting, and he's not happy because he's a travel agent, and he's going, guys, I got bad news. They cannot fill this darn stupid ship, this concrete bunker, and now instead of 3 experiences a week, we're going down to 2 experiences, they call them, a week. I want to see if I can find the calendar, but that means that normally they do, these are, again, 2-day trips or whatever. You go in on a Monday, you leave on a Tuesday. Or no, you leave on a Wednesday morning, and then the next group of people come in, and there's 1 day off in between. We're going to see real quick. Let me bring up the calendar. All right, so here we have the available dates for March, and let's be clear, it's already embarrassing that not a single date is sold out. I mean, don't people have vacations, some vacations in the Easter month? I could be crazy, but there should be at least some dates that are packed full. There's not a single sold out date in March, but they've been running them 2-day trips. So 2 days, 2 days, 2 days. You come in on Tuesday, Wednesday you have your dinner, Thursday you leave in the morning and the new group of people shows up. Which they have to do because they got to make money. They built this big old facility. They got to pack it full of guests every single day in order to make their money back. But as you can see, starting in October, we're going to have your Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday, your Monday, and then the middle of the week, nothing. Nobody's in there. There's no Rey running around. There's no Kylo Ren, menacing the guests or whatever else. That's 3. Imagine a hotel, a luxury hotel, tells you half the month we're going to be closed. You'd go, what are you, nuts? You're a hotel. You need to be booking rooms constantly in order to make your money. But the problem is that the core concept is flawed. The idea, let's look at this. The idea of this ongoing dinner theater thing. The problem is this doesn't work. You can't have, a slow period at your hotel. You can't go, well, it's not a big day, but we don't have to fill all the rooms, just rent 2 or 3 rooms. No, you have to fill about half the rooms because the hotel guests are part of the experience. They're the ones running around, solving mysteries, finding clues, interacting with the cast members. I mean, imagine going to this and you and your kid are the only ones watching Ray Skywalker fight Kylo Ren. It would be kind of awkward that there's this entire narrative built up. Like, we want to thank everyone on board for helping. And you're like, yay, me and my kid, we're the only ones here. It's like a group activity. And it's a flawed concept because, again, it requires, they expected they were going to be able to fill the whole thing every time. Every single voyage was going to be at 100% capacity. We've been told they can't even get to 50% capacity. So instead of, renting it out throughout the whole week, they're like, okay, well, let's take the few amount of people we can get and jam them into these Friday, Saturday dates and these Sunday, Monday dates. It's crazy. It's crazy how much money they spent on this, and they didn't think through, like, okay, how is this gonna work? It's an interactive experience, and if we can't fill the rooms, we literally can't run it, and we just have a big empty bunker not making us even a single dollar. I don't know what they're gonna do. Here's again, we like to do reckless speculation on this channel. We like to make stuff up. Here's, I guess, what I would do is, sure, do your Friday, Saturday, and your Sunday, Monday dates. I get it. And then you can still run it. Maybe you got enough people to fill those dates. You are going to have to start dropping the price, which they are doing. We'll maybe talk about that in a second. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, make it into a, little one-day experience or like a dinner theater thing. I think just keeping the dinner theater aspect where, again, you go, you eat a meal, and then the meal gets interrupted by the First Order, and Rey Skywalker fights Kylo Ren. I could see people, reasonably paying $200, $300 a seat to eat in the Star Wars dining room, get some weird Star Wars food, see a stupid show with the singing blue lady. I don't want to pay $300 for this, but I know there are people who would do it. After you've gone to the Disney park for the day, you go, and tonight we're having dinner at the Star Wars hotel, and turn it into a one-night dinner theater experience with a little show and a lightsaber battle. I think you could that's what you should have done from the beginning. I mean, that's what I said originally. I said, why did you make a hotel? Nobody wants to spend the night in a concrete bunker and run around the fucking park and solve mysteries and meet characters. Like, there's some people who want to do that, sure, but they're not going to pay $6,000 for it. If you made it a one-night dinner theater experience, there's a lot of people who would go, well, we got to go to the Star Wars, dinner experience. You get a great meal, you get a stupid show, you see a lightsaber battle. There are people who would pay for that. And again, $300, which is the max I would want to charge. Hopefully you're not going to charge more than that. I think people can justify it. I went to Disney. I spent $220 on a stupid lightsaber that's like in the back of my room. I don't even want the stupid thing, but I did it because I'm like, well, I'm at Disney. I might as well buy a lightsaber. Why the hell not? I got to put that video up, by the way, of me making a lightsaber. I do have the video, and it's pretty good. I fought with Kylo Ren. Okay, so a couple other things that, we're going to mention is that we already had low occupancy cruises being canceled. Disney is not renewing many of the entertainment cast contracts. So that's, what experience are you getting at this point? If the actors they're paying to run around the ship and help you out, they're not even renewing their contracts. They're going, we can't even pay you people. What's going to be left at the end of it? A hologram of Yoda and one lady playing Rey Skywalker? How do you run this thing without the actors? I don't get it. Not to mention that they are now heavily discounting it to vacation club members and even cast members. They're going to their own employees and they're going, hey, do you guys want to go to the Star Wars hotel? And they're like, I don't know, man. You don't pay us that much. I don't really want to go to the Star Wars hotel that bad. I got one other piece of news I want to touch on briefly. This is from Cinema Blend, who says Disney World has added The Mandalorian to Galaxy's Edge. Why this might be bad news for the Galactic Starcruiser. So, the whole Star Wars Batuu Galaxy's Edge thing has always been suffering from this weird sense of identity because they chose to make it themed in the sequel trilogy era. Okay, all the rides are sequel trilogy, Kylo Ren, it's Rise of the Resistance, whatever else. The problem is people don't like the sequel trilogy. I'm not going to go into it. We know this. You see Rey Skywalker running on the park and you're like, hey, it's my least favorite Skywalker. And she's not even really a Skywalker. Everybody, they see Rey and they're like, yeah, that's cute. And then you see Chewbacca and R2-D2 from the original trilogy and they're like, oh, Chewie, R2. let's be real, everybody just wants to meet Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. That's all we want. But now we have The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is walking around Walt Disney World. But The Mandalorian, of course, is not set in sequel trilogy era. It is a conflict with the park's setting. Okay? And I'm sure he's walking around with baby Grogu or whatever the hell else. Which also, well, I guess baby Grogu, you could say, just is still a baby in this time. I guess you could make that work within the sequel trilogy timeline. However, with The Mandalorian appearing regularly at the Disneyland Resort version of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, they had never talked about it making the jump to Walt Disney World. What's interesting about him showing up at Walt Disney World is that that is part of the Galactic Starcruiser experience, is that you spend one day at the Galaxy's Edge Park, or like half a day, running around theoretically doing Resistance era themed missions. So it would kind of break your immersion of this $6,000 experience you paid for if you're like, okay, we're helping the Resistance, we're helping Rey. Oh, hey, there's a guy who's probably been dead for 50 years, the Mandalorian. Why is he here? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know, maybe you could say it's an older Mandalorian, who knows? But this is kind of leading us to believe, if even Disney World, which seems to have had this unspoken rule of only sequel era trilogy characters, is now breaking that rule, maybe they're going to retheme the Starcruiser. It's possible that they finally realized, guys, there's no way to get people to love Kylo Ren and Rey. There's no way to get people to care about the Resistance. Like, we had our chance, and you blew it. You completely blew it. I don't understand how you blew it so bad. I don't understand if the entire future of your marketing of this franchise entirely hinged on the sequel trilogy. I mean, obviously The Last Jedi was a disaster, but I think Rise of Skywalker is a movie you should have looked at. You should have looked at the final cut and said, I don't care what we have to spend to fix this. We need to end this trilogy on a high note, because everything we've invested in these theme parks and these bunkers and merchandise and everything else hinges on people coming away from the sequel trilogy being interested in these characters. I don't know why they didn't just say, okay, we got a bad movie here. Let's spend another $1 billion. Who cares? Because this is literally the future of Star Wars. But they didn't do that. Everybody hates the sequel trilogy because it had one of the worst endings of all time. Like, why do I care about Kylo Ren after he disappeared? Who cares about any of this? It's so stupid. I don't know why they didn't go back and fix it, but now they're trapped. They're trapped with all this stuff that nobody likes. Watch, is she gonna force choke him there? Oh, there you go. Very cool. They're trapped. They built all this stuff based on an era of Star Wars nobody likes, and who knows what they're gonna do. I think they gotta rebuild it from the ground up. The only way to fix this is to, one, make it well, there's a number, I guess I'm gonna name a number of ways to fix it. One, I like the idea of one night dinner theater type thing. In the middle of the week. You could maybe even have them stay overnight. Who knows? Make it an overnight. Bunk in a Star Wars hotel room. You just can't charge $6,000 for it. Get rid of all the immersive whatever thing. Just be like, show up for a show, retire to your cabin, get a nice breakfast in the morning, and get the fuck out. I think people would pay for that. I could see people even paying. It's a night in a hotel as well. You can get a good amount of money out of people for that. I don't want to put a price tag on it, but I think that's much better than the $6,000 immersive experience nonsense. Second of all, if you are going to keep doing the immersive 2-day experience, you got to drop the price. A normal person is not going to pay $6,000 to bring their family, again, and this is my third point, to meet characters who they don't know or care about. Nobody is spending $6,000 to meet Gaia or whatever other new characters you've invented. The Star Wars fans we're stupid. I'm stupid. I want to meet Darth Vader. That's it. Look, I even got this little stupid figure I found. If I go to a Star Wars thing, I want to meet Darth Vader. I want to meet Luke Skywalker. I want to meet Han Solo. I don't want to meet Lieutenant Croy and nameless Stormtrooper number 9. I want to meet my favorite characters and take photos with them and make little jokes. Okay? Like, that would be fun for me. Meeting Rey and Kylo is stupid because I don't like those characters, and I don't think anyone does. They're fine. I don't hate them. No, I do hate them. But, like, kids aren't interested in them. Adults aren't interested in them. Who does this appeal to? I don't get it. Point is, guys, I called shot. I said, I don't think this thing will last a year. I said after a year, they're going to have to drastically revise what they're doing. And look at what happened. A year later, I'm completely right. They're changing something. I don't know exactly what, but I have my theories as to how they could maybe salvage this thing. But ultimately, I think this was just a huge mistake for Disney. You should have just made a normal Star Wars themed hotel or restaurant and not tried to rock the boat with this weird interactive storytelling environment that frankly, most people who want a vacation don't want to deal with the headache of. When I think of vacation, I think of me in a hotel hot tub, drinking a daiquiri, not running around going on Star Wars fucking adventures. I ain't got time for that. I'm tired. But let me know what you think in the comments. Is the Starcruiser screwed? And don't forget, after you subscribe to the channel, check out my comic book at superkiller.org. We're right about to launch the crowdfunding campaign, so sign up for the mailing list so you'll be aware of when that goes live. Yeah, what a disaster this thing is. Who is going to this? Who has the money for this? I don't get it.